Good afternoon. Lawlessness seems to be a bit synonymous with youth and young people basically being a law unto themselves, young people not wanting to follow in anybody's footsteps, young people not wanting to conform. But I find that the challenge is more on how these laws or how these rules or how this state of confirmation is presented to them. I mean, it's some of us, when we grew up in what we could term harsh situations where things were told to us, things were instructed. We were never given the option to actually contribute to conversations. We were never really given the option to question some of the things that we were asked to do, or some of the things that were status quo. So unfortunately, our children now, our youth, are more exposed to a lot of things, a lot of situations, a lot of options, social media being one of them. I mean, as I'm recording now, some young person is going to be reading this, listening to this, watching this, and they're going to formulate an opinion. So I believe that us as leaders, myself, yourself, as a father, as a mother, as a big brother, as a neighbor, as a teacher, we have an obligation to actually educate and coach the young people. Are we doing enough? I believe we're not doing enough. And the fact that you feel you're doing enough, perhaps in your own house, in the confines of your own house, it might be giving you a feeling of achievement, but the truth is, are you just raising the child that's in your house? Are you raising the child that's in your house and every other child that they associate with? So I think we need to stop name calling and labeling the young ones. We need to really say, what are we doing to empower them to understand the law, to be associated with the law, to accept it, and to actually even promote it? What are we doing? Are we doing enough in actions? Are we doing enough in what we say? Are we doing enough in what they see us do every day? Because if we don't act to support what we're saying, then they will never listen to us. So young people are not lawless per se. We are raising them to be lawless. We are raising them to be defiant. We are raising them because we are not, half the time, we're not even giving them the full story. We're not even answering their questions at their level and affording them the time to actually even ask a question. It's not about questioning authority. It's about asking so that they can understand. And sometimes, yes, when they ask with an attitude. But let's be honest, they are youth. We were once youth. And until we stand up and say, how do we coach our youth? They will forever be labeled as lawless, as useless, as visionless, as purposeless. But the honest truth is that we who are raising them are the ones who are purposeless. And yes, reach out to that child across the road. Reach out to the child that you come across in the street. Because especially with the scourge of absent fathers in children's life, without going into the dynamics of that in itself as a status of today needs to be addressed. And it needs to be addressed by me and you. It needs to be addressed by every man, every woman, every adult. Because it's going to get worse if we just leave it. If we just escape into our own world and point fingers, it's going to get worse. So we need to fix it.